Three people are in custody today facing charges in Tuesday's murder of a 16-year-old girl in Aurora. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. I'm Mark Salinger.
And I'm Sam Shocker. The shooting happened earlier this week in what police described as a home invasion. It's still not clear what was behind the incident.
Kevin Vaughn from our 9 News Investigates team joins us live in the newsroom now. And Kevin, police initially were searching for 2 people, but now 3 are in custody. Tonight you have new information on what happened.
Sam and Mark, according to police, the third person they arrested planned the attack and enlisted the help of the other 2. It was around 6:20 a.m. Tuesday that 2 men entered an apartment on East Jewel Avenue. After a struggle, multiple gunshots were fired. Adriana Arrington, 16 years old, was wounded and died a short time later at a hospital. Now Aurora police have 3 people in custody. April Collingwood, suspected of masterminding the incident, and Cooper Miller and David Gunyon, suspected of actually entering the apartment. Formal charges are pending. We've gotten some new documents just in the last few minutes. On 9 News at 5, we'll have more on what police think happened and more on these 3 suspects, all of whom have lengthy arrest records. Live in the newsroom, Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.
Just awful. Kevin Vaughn, thank you.
And right now, not a bad afternoon to head west. Our weather impact team is tracking another round of mountain snow, perfect for the ski resorts. Meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen joins us now with your forecast. Corey?
Well, it could be a little difficult if you're heading up to the high country to enjoy ski country tomorrow morning. Maybe tonight would be a great time to travel. We'll have a little bit of a storm coming in here tomorrow morning, impacting us really about midnight tonight. You can see the high clouds already starting to move into the state right now. Off to our northwest here, that's the storm system that's moving our way. And the storm system that just left us continues to bring snow into parts of the deep south and the east coast as we go through tonight. Here are the watches or the advisories that we have out here in the central mountains to the northern mountains. We're looking for 4 to 10 inches of snow with gusts in the 45-mile-per-hour range. That will be overnight and all through the day tomorrow. We're also looking for a little bit of a system out here on the eastern plains. We'll have a very shallow layer of clouds here that could bring some fog, some freezing drizzle out here to the eastern plains. We do expect some ice accumulation out here towards the east, but it looks like most of that's going to stay east of the Denver area. Here's our day here in Denver, starting out chilly here below freezing, getting the temperatures up there into the upper 30s, maybe a 40. There is a slight chance that we can catch a couple of stray flurries tomorrow. I'll talk about that stuff coming up in the forecast.
Corey, thank you. A series of destructive wildfires in the greater Los Angeles area have killed at least 10 people. A new fire today caused even more evacuations in Granada Hills. The biggest, of course, the Palisades fire, has destroyed more than 5,000 structures. It is now 8% contained. This weekend, fire crews are preparing for more Santa Ana winds that have helped quickly spread these fires. And coming up at 4:30, we'll have more on how people in Denver can help victims tonight.
Today, President-elect Donald Trump became the first U.S. president to be sentenced for a felony. A New York judge sentenced him to an unconditional discharge in his New York hush money case. That means Trump doesn't have to serve any prison time and isn't on probation. Back in May of 2024, a jury convicted Trump of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. Trump is now the first U.S. president to take office with a criminal history. Denver District Attorney Beth McCann is spending the last 2 days of her term packing up her office as she helps the city transition to the next district attorney. Today, 9 News Investigates sat down with McCann on the criticisms of her office that she's faced over the last 8 years. Jeremy Hohola is joining us now. And Jeremy, she's dealt with a lot of high-profile cases during her time in office.
Yeah, that's right, Mark. In a downtown office, there's a wall of 28 portraits. All are men who served as district attorney, beginning with the first in 1869. Portrait number 29 is a woman, Beth McCann, who shattered that glass ceiling. On her second to last day in office, we asked about her accomplishments, failures, repeat offenders, and Denver's crime. Here's a condensed look, edited for.
As the first woman to be elected district attorney here in Denver, what sort of challenges have you faced in that role?
I think there's always this thing about women being soft, soft on crime, which I'm not, and I don't think this office is. In fact, I know it isn't. So you have to kind of overcome that.
What are some of the accomplishments that you're most happy about?
On the enforcement side, I started a human trafficking unit, which has been very successful.
What are some of the failures in your office that you wish you could go back and fix?
I don't know that that I would say they're failures. I think that the whole George Floyd protest period was a tough time for the office, and I don't know that I would have done anything differently, but I do feel like it was a challenge. It was a challenge for the office. We did not end up charging any police officers.
Why is that?
Well, I would say the main reason was because we couldn't identify which officer had actually fired, they were firing those rubber bullets or 40 millimeter canisters.
But in a lot of these civil cases, these officers were named.
They were not named. It was filed against the Denver Police Department, which is a whole different thing.
Denver's crime rate is a constant topic in the news about shootings in downtown, property crime, car thefts have been a huge issue over the last few years, fentanyl. Do you think your office has done enough?
We continue to work on these issues, and I think we have done a good job of addressing crime. Crime is actually down in Denver for the last 2 years. It's been going down, including violent crime. I think the pandemic had a lot to do with that crime spike because it was all over the country, and it's coming down all over the country.
What do you think is going to be the most pressing issue for the next DA?
I think guns, fentanyl, and juvenile violence are probably the big ones.
There is so much more we talked about, including her efforts to make sure domestic violent offenders do not have guns, and the Stephen Long case, a man who had murder charges dropped after a lot of public outcry. You can catch the entire 20-minute raw interview on 9news.com in a few minutes. McCann's last day is on Monday. Back to you, Sam.
Jeremy, great interview. Thank you. Today, the Supreme Court heard arguments to save TikTok. The app is up against a January 19th deadline of being banned in the U.S. Usually the Supreme Court takes months to rule, but with the upcoming deadline, the preliminary decision could be released in the coming days. If the ban goes through, app stores would have to remove TikTok or face fines.